Yo, good morning, good day, good afternoon, whatever time of day you're watching this at. I hope you are keeping amazing and welcome to a brand new how-to. So this how-to was requested by my friends Reese Thompson, Malta Ort and Kevin Edwards. Thanks guys for letting me know that you guys want to get some tips and want to learn this trick basically and improve at it. And I hope I can help, and I hope I can help you guys watching. So let's get started. I'm going to explain it step by step. So obviously the very first thing, you want to get really good at hang five. Become a master at hang fives. Get really good at maneuvering them, get really good at turning in them both directions, get really good at going in circles, going into tighter circles. And yeah, when you have all that, when you're a master, an absolute boss at hang fives, you're ready to learn the hang five turbine. Also, as I will mention a lot in this video, a lot of the hang five is in your arms, so it can help if you're able to get into the hang five using your arms only. As such, push with your arms to pop up. Push and now that's not exactly necessary, but it might help. Begin working on the turbine. First, you want to get your hang fives in a circle. Go into a wider circle, that'll be easier. Then when you're feeling more confident, start tightening up the circle. You will do that by pushing more on the inside hand and pulling a little bit on the outside hand. And you'll notice that when you go in a straight line in a hang five, the frame will be straight with the front wheel. When you're going in a circle, it'll kind of be a counter steering motion that if you've ever driven a motorbike, you know what I'm talking about. So you're going to turn the opposite way to go into the inside. So your front wheel is actually going to be facing a little outwards, but then your frame is going to balance that and face into the outside of the circle. Get your hang fives into a tight circle and almost work on going into a spin, as you'll kind of need to be able to get that carve, that initial carve into a turbine. As you know, turbines are all about transferring the momentum from the first initial kick or roll or turn into then going into multiple ones or pumping to create more momentum and then go into more turbines or different tricks and so on and so on. Do make sure that you are super stable in your arms when going into a spin or almost going into a turbine by now. All your weight is going to be on the outside of the bike and you're going to a really tight spin and then going backwards. So you want to control the bike, you don't want to let it slip away from you. You want to keep the back end really tight up in your back end and yeah, just control the bike. There isn't much room for error, but once you get the technique right, you do have a lot more room for error. There are a couple of things that you can do in before you try the turbine that can help. First off is going in a hang five, and when you're going into that spin, putting your foot in a foot jam position and scuffing back after slightly turning. So you go into a fakie, you can just put your back wheel down and then roll it into a fakie and roll out, or go. Another thing that might do is just learning backwards hang fives. So just do a forward hang five, foot jam and start scuffing back, try to balance your backwards hang five. Again, these steps are not necessary, but they can help. So obviously when turning, whether it's into a fakie or when you're trying the actual turbine, when you're going into a tight carve, your hand pressure will be mostly on the inside grip. When you're going into a backwards momentum, you want to reverse the hand pressure and slightly turn the wheel to the other direction, still keeping the back end controlled. That will bring you more in a backwards momentum, and that's the point where you put your foot on, stop the front wheel, so only roll backwards slightly. You'll turn back naturally because that's the momentum that you're going in, and just scuff forward. Make sure you lean the bike just like you did when first going into the turbine and scuff forward. You'll especially see the changing of the lean in the front wheel and the frame in the POV clips.
I just like the sound.
Either put the back wheel down or keep going in a hang 5, that is up to you. First, get really good at technique before you try to do multiples, and make sure you can do single one every single time. Every time you practice a trick, you'll get better at it. It might not seem like it, but there is little improvements every time you practice. Just believe it. Believe in yourself and you'll get it eventually. In a foot jump turbine, same as going into a fakie. You'll be going into a tight circle, get into that carve where you're almost going into a spin. Change the leaning direction of the front wheel slightly by changing the pressure on your hands. Let yourself go back slightly, put your foot on the front wheel in a vade or foot jump position, and then when you turn back, scuff really hard forward. You want to make sure that you give it a really good kick in order to be able to keep going in a hang 5 or go into different tricks. And again, control the whole action with your arms. Your arms are super important with this trick, with any hang 5 trick, with any trick really. So make sure that you do use your arms. So after you go forward again, just let the back wheel down and just step on the pedals and roll away, and yeah, that's a hang 5 turbine. Congratulations. And if you're already pretty good on the front wheel, you can combo it in with your other front wheel tricks, and yeah, just have fun with it. As with any flatland trick, the imagination is your only limit, so do whatever you can imagine with this trick. Try to get as many as you possibly can. My record is 15, try to beat that if you can. And if you do, of course, post it on Instagram or Facebook and tag me. I'll repost it because that's amazing. I don't know, I wasn't even trying for 15, but it just happened. You never know, you might get more than me. It's super important that your upper body stays centered over the front wheel. As if you can imagine, the point of contact with the ground is going to be where your center of gravity starts. It'll go through the front wheel axle, through the fork, stem, and go straight up over the bars. So that's where you want most of your weight to be centered in order to be able to keep balance, both in hang 5 or backwards hang 5 or turbines going backwards and forwards. Your hips will be back to control the back end, but make sure the upper body is over the bars. And for the final time, a lot of the control is in your arms. Use them. So again, thank you to Kevin, Malta and Reese for requesting this how-to. I hope I could help. I hope you guys grabbed some helpful tips from this video, and I hope you guys are keeping amazing. Anyone watching, go check out their Instagrams. I'll put them down in the description. The guys are absolute killers. They're from all over the world, representing Scotland, Germany and the US, so go check them out. And yeah, I hope I could also help you guys. I hope you guys could grab some helpful tips. And if you need any more help, as always, let me know down in the comments or get in touch over on my Instagram or Facebook, which will also be in the description. Make sure you follow me on those. Leave suggestions for future how-tos down in the comments also, and like, comment, share, subscribe, and of course I will see you in the next video. Have an amazing day and peace!